What's up, everyone? I'm Meghan Sullivan here with Vince Ingenito, and we're here to talk about the latest DLC for Borderlands, the pre-sequel.
Yes.
Now, Vince, we saw this video earlier, or we saw this footage earlier this week, but you actually got to play the DLC. Can
Yes,
you
I
tell
did.
us the name of the DLC and what it's about?
Yes, so it's the Claptastic Voyage. Okay, and as you can tell from the name, it focuses on Claptrap. You're actually going inside of a digital representation of Claptrap's mind.
So good.
Which is so good and so crazy, and it lets them play with some really crazy themes and some really crazy art styles, and they really go all the way with it. It feels most like kind of Tiny Tina's Assault on Dragon Keep, in that it's a totally new imagining of the world of Borderlands, including some old areas that you've seen. So yeah, the story basically is that Jack, now as the new ruler of Hyperion, he needs some good juicy tech to help him cement his place, and so he sends his Vault Hunters, a digital version of his Vault Hunters, into Claptrap's mind, where he hopes to find those hidden secrets.
Yes, it was awesome because you played as Claptrap in Claptrap's mind. It was
Yes.
super meta. It was so good.
And they do some specific things with that are pretty clever, but I don't want to spoil them.
No, don't spoil them. So let's talk about the enemies and the gameplay mechanics specifically, because there are different things. It didn't just regurgitate old gameplay and
Right.
copy-paste different areas. So tell us a little bit about that.
So it definitely still feels like Borderlands, right? But again, just like Tiny Tina, they've added some new twists to the gameplay that kind of make it its own thing. So the biggest thing is that there's a new loot tier. It's called the glitch tier, and basically glitched weapons have a chance with every reload to manifest an error of some kind, and that could be overcharge, where the every shot will have like way exaggerated damage, but it'll also kick you back a little bit, and other effects like that. And you don't know, every time you reload, there's just a random chance either it'll glitch or it won't. You don't know which glitch it's going to be, so that kind of adds a little bit more of a random factor. So if you're playing Claptrap, for instance, and you have the different like the different gun stratagems, that random factor is just like pumped up even more if you have a glitch weapon. So I think that's pretty cool. But they've also got new variations of like the bandits and different enemies. You know, the pre-sequel is all about this anti-grav, like low gravity gameplay. There's one enemy called the Trojan that has this gravity axe that he can hit you with it and kind of root you back to the ground and kind of take that option away from you. And other bandit types that can teleport around. One really cool one is the Suicide Bandit, who, the ones who would run at you and they would hold up a bomb and they would blow themselves up. Now, if you didn't do damage to that guy, there's a version of them in Claptastic Voyage that if you don't damage him and he just blows himself up, he'll do the explosion and damage you, but he'll put himself back, he'll digitally reconstruct himself and come at you again. So you actually have to shoot him and kill him. You can't just avoid him.
Yeah, there's strategy.
Yeah, you got it.
Strategy
It's a little bit extra element of threat assessment there that you have to deal with them. So that's just a couple of things. There's plenty more. Again, don't want to spoil all these surprises, but you can rest assured there's definitely far more kind of mechanical gameplay twists on the existing stuff than in some of the other DLCs.
And how large is this DLC compared to previous ones?
From what they're telling us, it's pretty big. It's approaching, not quite the size, but very close to the size of Tiny Tina's Assault on Dragon Keep, which that was, if I remember correctly, somewhere between 4 and 6 hours. It was
it was pretty big.
Yeah, it was a pretty substantial chunk of content. So you can expect something like that here as well. And then other nice thing is that, just like with the pre-sequel, for those of you who beat it, not really spoilers, but if you go through it again on true Vault Hunter mode, there's a completely different narrative and completely different voiceovers that you hear throughout, which is one of the really cool tricks that pre-sequel did. They do that with this as well. So even if you beat the DLC once, you beat again, and you get kind of a different set of jokes and a different experience.
Well, that's super cool.
Yeah.
So when does this drop?
That'll be coming out day and date with the Handsome Collection, which is March 24th.
All right, awesome. So for all your Borderlands needs, keep it locked here to IGN.